The microphone feedback screeched through the reception hall. My sister Tessa stood at the head table, champagne glass in one hand, manila envelope in the other. Before we cut the cake, I have a special announcement about my dear sister Brooklyn. Her smile was venomous. Brooklyn thinks she's so perfect. Perfect marriage, perfect daughter, perfect life. But I have proof, DNA proof, that her daughter isn't her husband's, that she's been lying to everyone for 3 years. She held up the envelope. Official paternity test results. Brooklyn's daughter Lily? Not Daniel's biological child. My sister is a cheater and a liar, and I wanted everyone to know on my special day. 200 wedding guests turned to stare at me. Daniel grabbed my hand. Our 3-year-old daughter Lily was with the babysitter, thank God. But Tessa didn't know something. My lawyer, my very expensive, very thorough defamation lawyer, was sitting at table 12, recording every word, every accusation, every lie. And what those recordings would reveal in court 3 months later? Tessa never saw it coming. If you've ever been publicly humiliated by family who thought they had proof of something, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything to me. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Has anyone ever tried to destroy your reputation with false evidence? Let's talk about it. Now, back to my story. Let me take you back to that moment. June 2023. My sister Tessa's wedding to her fiancé Marcus. Lavish ceremony, 200 guests. Country club reception. My name is Brooklyn Hayes. I'm 32 years old, living in Charleston, South Carolina, married to Daniel Hayes for 5 years. We have a daughter, Lily, who's 3 years old. I work as a marketing director. Daniel's a software engineer. We have a good life, a happy life. My younger sister Tessa is 28, always competitive, always comparing, always needing to be better than me. When I got engaged, she got engaged 6 months later. When I had Lily, she started talking about having kids immediately, though she wasn't even married yet. This wedding was supposed to be her triumph, her moment. I was genuinely happy for her. Gave a toast, danced, celebrated. I was her maid of honor, despite our complicated relationship. Then came the cake cutting. Tessa grabbed the microphone instead of the knife. I need everyone's attention. Before we continue the celebration, I have something important to share. I assumed it was a sweet thank you speech. Instead, it was character assassination. My sister Brooklyn has been living a lie. She's been parading around with her perfect family. But I discovered something that proves she's not who she pretends to be. She held up the manila envelope. These are paternity test results for Brooklyn's daughter Lily, and they prove that Daniel is not Lily's biological father. Brooklyn cheated, got pregnant, and tricked Daniel into raising another man's child. The room went silent, absolutely silent. You could hear breathing. Daniel stood up. What the hell are you talking about? Tessa pulled papers from the envelope. Official lab results. DNA test comparing Daniel's DNA to Lily's DNA. 0% probability of paternity. Your daughter isn't yours, Daniel. Brooklyn's been lying to you for 3 years. I felt the room spinning. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. Tessa, that's not true. I don't know where you got those. From a lab, a real lab. I had Daniel's DNA tested against Lily's, hired a private investigator to get samples, and the results are clear. You're a cheater, a liar, and I wanted everyone to know before they keep worshiping you as perfect Brooklyn with her perfect life. Daniel looked at me. Brooklyn? I never cheated. I don't know what she's talking about. Those results are fake. Fake? Tessa screamed. From a certified lab? With official letterhead? You're calling scientific evidence fake? Then a voice from table 12. Calm. Professional. Female. Actually, yes. Those results are very likely fabricated. Everyone turned. A woman in her 50s stood up. Elegant. Confident. She walked toward the head table. My name is Patricia Morrison. I'm an attorney specializing in defamation and family law, and I've been recording this entire exchange with Ms. Hayes' permission. Tessa's face went white. Recording? You can't. South Carolina is a one-party consent state. Ms. Hayes consented to the recording. Everything you just said is documented. And as an attorney, I can tell you that what you've done constitutes several crimes. Patricia approached the head table, held up her phone. I have video and audio of you publicly accusing Ms. Hayes of infidelity, of falsifying paternity, of fraud, in front of 200 witnesses, at your own wedding, using what you claim are DNA test results. They are real results. Then you won't mind if we verify them, because Ms. Hayes contacted me 2 weeks ago. She'd heard rumors you were planning something. We've been prepared. 2 weeks ago. That was true. Tessa's friend had drunkenly mentioned at the bachelorette party that Tessa had dirt on me, that she was planning to expose me at her wedding. I'd thought it was wedding drama talk, but I'd called Patricia Morrison anyway, just in case. Patricia continued, Ms. Hayes, may I see those documents? Tessa clutched the envelope. No, they're mine. They're proof. If they're real, they're evidence in a potential defamation case. I'd like to examine them, unless you're refusing to provide evidence to support your public accusations. Marcus, Tessa's new husband, looked horrified. Tessa, what did you do? I exposed her. She deserved it. Everyone thinking she's so perfect when she's been lying. Patricia held out her hand. The documents. Now, or I call the police for harassment. Tessa, shaking, handed over the envelope. Patricia examined the contents. Her expression didn't change. Professional. Controlled. These are indeed formatted to look like official lab results. However, there are several red flags. First, the lab listed, Carolina Genetics Lab, doesn't exist. I checked South Carolina's licensed medical laboratories. No such facility is registered. Gasps from the crowd. Second, the reference numbers don't match standard DNA test formatting. Third, the signature at the bottom is illegible and has no associated medical license number, which is required by state law for official paternity testing. She looked at Tessa. Where did you really get these? I told you, a private investigator. Name? I don't have to tell you. You just publicly accused my client of infidelity and paternity fraud using these documents. If they're real, you'll provide the source. If they're fabricated, you've committed defamation, libel, and potentially fraud. So I'll ask again, where did you get these documents? Tessa looked at Marcus, at our parents sitting at table 3, at the 200 guests watching this unfold. I found a template online. I filled it in with fake information. I just wanted to embarrass her. She's always been Mom and Dad's favorite, always perfect. I wanted to knock her down. The reception dissolved into chaos. Guests whispering, some leaving. Marcus standing there stunned, our parents rushing to the head table. Patricia Morrison handed the fake documents back to Tessa. You just confessed in front of 200 witnesses and on recording to fabricating DNA test results, to publicly defaming Ms. Hayes, to attempting to destroy her marriage and reputation, using false evidence at your own wedding. Mom grabbed Tessa's arm. Tessa, what have you done? She deserved it. She's always been perfect, always getting everything. I wanted her to feel humiliated for once. Daniel stood up, walked to the microphone, took it from Tessa's shaking hands. Everyone, I want to be very clear. My wife Brooklyn has never cheated. Our daughter Lily is mine, biologically. We have actual DNA test results from when Lily was born, routine hospital testing. I am her father. What Tessa just did was create fake documents to destroy my wife's reputation out of jealousy, and it's disgusting. He looked at Tessa. This is your wedding day, and you chose to spend it trying to destroy your sister. What kind of person does that? Marcus stepped forward. Tessa, we need to talk. Privately, now. They left the reception hall. Patricia Morrison approached Daniel and me. Mr. and Mrs. Hayes, I recommend we leave. This event is over, and we need to discuss next steps. We left, drove home in silence, paid the babysitter, put Lily to bed, then sat in our living room with Patricia. What just happened? I asked. Your sister committed defamation, public defamation. She made false statements of fact that damaged your reputation. She did it in front of 200 witnesses with fabricated evidence, and I have it all recorded. What do we do? You have options. Criminal charges. She could be charged with fraud for creating fake legal documents, civil lawsuit, defamation, emotional distress, damage to reputation, or you let it go. Let it go? She tried to destroy my marriage, my reputation, in front of everyone we know. I understand. That's why I'm recommending we pursue both, criminal charges and civil suit. Make it clear that fabricating evidence and public defamation have consequences. Daniel nodded. Do it. All of it. She needs to understand this isn't okay. Over the next week, things escalated. Patricia filed a police report. Fraud, creating false legal documents, defamation, the police investigated, interviewed witnesses, reviewed the recording. Tessa was charged with fraud and criminal defamation. Misdemeanors, but on her record. Her wedding became known as the wedding where the bride committed crimes. We also filed a civil lawsuit, $500,000 in damages, defamation of character, emotional distress, damage to professional reputation. Tessa's marriage lasted 6 weeks. Marcus filed for annulment, said he couldn't trust someone who'd fabricate legal documents and publicly humiliate family, that if she'd do this to her sister, what would she do to him? Mom tried to mediate. Brooklyn, please. Tessa made a mistake. Drop the charges. Drop the lawsuit. She's your sister. She fabricated DNA test results to destroy my marriage. That's not a mistake. That's calculated malice. She was jealous. She acted out. But criminal charges? A lawsuit? You're ruining her life. She tried to ruin mine, and she did it publicly, gleefully, with fake evidence. Actions have consequences. 3 months later, we were in depositions for the civil case. Tessa, her lawyer, Patricia Morrison, Daniel, and me, in a conference room, everything recorded. Patricia started. Ms. Thornton, can you explain why you created fake paternity test results? Tessa's lawyer objected. Don't answer that. Ms. Thornton has already confessed publicly, at her wedding, on recording. I'm asking her to explain her motivation. The lawyer sighed. Answer the question. Tessa looked defeated, smaller. I was jealous. Brooklyn's always been perfect. Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect marriage, perfect daughter. And I'm always second, always compared, always less than. I wanted to knock her down, make her feel how I've felt my whole life. So you fabricated legal documents? I found a template online, a paternity test template. I filled in fake information, made it look official. I thought it would just embarrass her. I didn't think about the consequences. You didn't think about destroying her marriage, her reputation, her relationship with her daughter? I thought people would just gossip. I didn't think it would go this far. You announced it at your wedding, in front of 200 people, using a microphone, with fabricated legal evidence. You called her a cheater and a liar. You said her husband wasn't her daughter's biological father. You expected what, exactly? I don't know. I wasn't thinking clearly. Patricia slid a document across the table. These are statements from 10 wedding guests, describing what you said, how you said it, the words you used. Cheater, liar. Tricked Daniel into raising another man's child. Does that sound like someone who wasn't thinking clearly? I was angry. Angry enough to create fake legal documents. Angry enough to commit fraud. Angry enough to publicly defame your sister. Is that correct? I guess so. And you understand that what you did was illegal? My lawyer said it might be. It is illegal. Creating false legal documents is fraud. Public defamation is a crime and a civil offense. You've been charged criminally. You're being sued civilly because you were jealous of your sister. Tessa started crying. I know I messed up. I'm sorry. I'll apologize. I'll do whatever it takes. Please, just drop the lawsuit. I don't have $500,000. I'll be bankrupt. You should have thought about that before you fabricated DNA test results. The deposition continued. Hours of questions about where she got the template, how she filled it in, why she chose a wedding to reveal it, whether she considered the impact on Lily, a 3-year-old child who might someday hear about this. By the end, Tessa was broken. Her lawyer advised settling. "Ms. Thornton can't win this case. The evidence is overwhelming. The recording is damning. We need to negotiate." 2 weeks later, we were back in the conference room. Settlement negotiations. Tessa's lawyer started. "Ms. Thornton is willing to publicly apologize, retract all statements, pay $50,000 in damages. That's all she can afford." Patricia shook her head. $50,000 doesn't cover the damage. Ms. Hayes lost clients because of this. Her professional reputation was damaged. People in her industry heard about the accusations. Some believed them. She's had to defend herself repeatedly. That has monetary value. $100,000 then, and a public apology, full retraction. $300,000. Public apology in the same newspaper that covered the wedding drama. Full retraction. A letter to every wedding guest explaining that the accusations were false and fabricated. And a restraining order. No contact with Ms. Hayes or her family for 5 years. She can't pay $300,000? Then she should have thought about that before committing fraud. We negotiated for 3 hours, finally settled at $250,000, paid over 5 years, public apology published in the Charleston Post, letters sent to every wedding guest, and a 3-year restraining order. Tessa agreed, signed the settlement, looked at me with hollow eyes. "I'm sorry, I really am. I let jealousy destroy everything. My marriage, my relationship with you, my reputation, my finances. I'm sorry." I didn't respond, just watched her sign. Patricia added one more clause. "Ms. Thornton will also attend therapy, court-ordered, to address the jealousy and impulsivity that led to this. Proof of attendance required quarterly." Tessa nodded, signed, left. Daniel and I sat in the parking lot afterward. "Is it over?" he asked. "Legally, yes. Emotionally, I don't know." "Do you feel better about the settlement?" "I feel like justice was served. She publicly humiliated me. Now she's publicly apologizing, paying for the damage, facing consequences. That matters." "What about your relationship with Tessa?" "There is no relationship. She fabricated legal documents to destroy my marriage. That's not sibling rivalry. That's malice. I'm done." "And your parents?" "Mom keeps calling, saying I'm being too harsh, that Tessa's suffered enough. But Mom didn't stand up for me at the wedding, didn't stop Tessa, didn't say a word when I was being publicly accused of infidelity and fraud. So I'm done with her too." 1 year has passed. Tessa's published apology appeared in the Charleston Post. Full page. Her statement admitting the DNA results were fake, that she fabricated them out of jealousy, that Brooklyn Hayes never cheated, that Lily is Daniel's biological daughter, that she deeply regrets her actions. Every wedding guest received a letter, similar content. Some responded with apologies to me. Some didn't respond at all. But the truth was documented, publicly, officially. Tessa's been making payments, $4,166 per month, for 5 years. She got a second job to afford it, moved into a smaller apartment, lives a much different life than the one she had before the wedding. Marcus didn't come back. The annulment went through. He's engaged to someone else now. Tessa's still single, still in therapy, still paying for her crime. Mom and I have limited contact. She comes to Lily's birthday parties, sends Christmas gifts. But our relationship is strained. She chose Tessa's side. Let me be humiliated. Didn't defend me. I haven't forgotten. Dad, on the other hand, apologized. "I should have said something that night. Should have stopped Tessa. I was in shock. But that's not an excuse. I'm sorry." We're rebuilding. Slowly. My career recovered. The public apology helped. Clients who'd left came back. New clients arrived. My reputation is intact. Better than intact. People know I fought back, that I didn't let false accusations stand. Daniel and I are stronger. The accusations forced us to talk, to reaffirm our commitment, to get Lily's actual DNA test results framed. They're in our office. Legal proof. Daniel, 99.9% probability of paternity, just in case anyone ever questions it again. And Lily? She's 4 now. She doesn't know about any of this. Won't know until she's old enough to understand. Won't know that her aunt tried to destroy her parents' marriage with fake DNA results at a wedding. Someday we'll tell her. But not yet. Last month, Tessa sent a letter. Handwritten. 3 pages. Apologizing again, explaining her jealousy, her therapy insights, her regret, asking if someday we could rebuild. I read it once, put it in a drawer, haven't responded. Daniel asked if I'd ever forgive her. I don't know. What she did wasn't a mistake. It was calculated, cruel, designed to cause maximum damage at maximum humiliation. That's hard to forgive. But she's paying, financially and emotionally. Isn't that enough? For justice? Yes. For forgiveness? I'm not sure. Patricia Morrison called last week. Final payment is due in 4 more years. Then the settlement's complete. What happens after that is up to you. What do you recommend? Legally, you'll be done. Emotionally, that's your choice. But remember, she didn't just accuse you. She fabricated legal documents. She committed fraud. She tried to destroy your family. Those aren't things that go away with payments and apologies. So you're saying don't forgive? I'm saying be careful. Someone who'd fabricate DNA results once might do something similar again. Protect yourself. I'm Brooklyn Hayes. I'm 33 years old. 1 year ago, my sister Tessa humiliated me at her wedding. She stood at the microphone, announced that I'd cheated, that my daughter wasn't my husband's biological child, that I was a liar and a fraud. She held up fake DNA test results, fabricated documents, created from an online template, made to look official, to look real, to destroy my reputation in front of 200 witnesses. What she didn't know? My lawyer was in the crowd, recording everything, documenting every word, every accusation, every lie. Patricia Morrison stood up, identified herself, explained that the documents were fake, that Tessa had confessed to fabricating them, that what she'd done was illegal. We filed criminal charges, fraud, defamation. Tessa was convicted, has a criminal record. We filed a civil lawsuit, $500,000 in damages, settled for $250,000. Public apology, letters to every wedding guest, restraining order. Tessa's marriage ended 6 weeks after her wedding. Her husband couldn't trust someone who'd fabricate legal documents and publicly humiliate family. She's been paying ever since, $4,166 a month, for 5 years, working 2 jobs, living in a small apartment, attending court-ordered therapy, facing the consequences of her jealousy. And me? I'm vindicated. The truth is public. My reputation is restored. My marriage is stronger. My daughter is loved and secure. But I haven't forgiven Tessa. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I won't. What she did wasn't a moment of anger. It was calculated malice, planned humiliation, using fabricated legal evidence. That recording saved me. Patricia Morrison's presence saved me. Being prepared, suspecting something might happen and hiring a lawyer just in case, saved me. Sometimes jealousy makes people do terrible things. Sometimes siblings compete to the point of destruction. Sometimes family tries to tear you down because they can't stand watching you succeed. But evidence doesn't lie. Recordings don't lie. DNA test results don't lie. Real ones anyway. Tessa thought she could humiliate me with fake documents. Instead, she destroyed herself, her marriage, her finances, her reputation, her relationship with me, all because she couldn't handle that I was happy, that I had what she wanted, that I was living my life without comparing myself to her. The lawyer recording everything meant Tessa couldn't deny it, couldn't claim she was misunderstood, couldn't say I was exaggerating. It's all documented. Every word, every accusation, every confession. And that documentation won us $250,000 and a public apology. But more importantly, it won us the truth. Officially, legally, permanently. Sometimes being prepared is the difference between being destroyed and being vindicated. Sometimes having a lawyer in the crowd changes everything. Tessa learned that the hard way, and she'll be paying for that lesson for the next 4 years. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.